Hola, mi gente. Welcome to another episode of On the Block with Jen. We got so much to unpack today. Feelings will be hurt. Some people will be triggered, right? But it's all good. I'm going to be talking about some specific people during this episode who I've invited to join the panel, right? But we're not attacking anyone today, although everybody has a different definition for attacking, right? We just want to discuss collectively as a community all the heat that's been going on for the past couple weeks in our community, right? In our garden and beyond. There's been a lot going on. So there's a lot to unpack. And some of the arguments have been getting really, really serious. So today we're going to discuss street code, specifically YouTube street code, right? We all call this the streets, the YouTube streets. And anybody who's been anywhere near, around, in, or from the streets, there was always code, right? The younger generations are changing that, right? They don't understand code as much as we did growing up, but there's still a code, right? There's still a code. So are we violating code? Are we violating code? And are we more bolder about violating code because we're behind these machines and behind these keyboards? So today I want to explore street code. And like I said, I'm going to bring up some specific incidents. And if you want to bring me up about a specific incident that you saw me do, feel free. Everybody is welcome. This is like a town hall. We're all going to discuss this. So no one is exempt, not even your girl. Okay. So today it's all about street code, specifically our wives and children off limits. Our wives and children off limits, because we've seen a couple of debates lately within the past couple of weeks and months where wives were mentioned and children were mentioned, right? In the going back and forth. Now, I'm a fan of your mama, right? I think, I'm old school. So I'm a fan of your mama. If you come at me a certain kind of way, I'm like your mama, or ask your mama. Well, find out how your mama feels. So I'm still back there. I'm not really so much about bringing up wives or children. I'll bring up a wife if you come at me about my looks. I'm going to question you about who you got in your bed, right? All is fair in YouTube and war. So here we go, mi gente. Now, as you guys know, Darrell, Everything Everyday podcast has been beefing with a couple people, and then Chaotic Truth came back at Darrell, and it's been going back and forth and back and forth, back and forth. It's been a little crazy. It's been a little crazy in the YouTube streets, right? So we just want to, let's peel back a couple of layers on this, and, we can talk about who you think is right or wrong, or, is all fair, like they say. And also I want to bring up Chaotic Truth wife that I didn't know was his wife. So I even want to bring up a wife that inserted herself, because there are times where people bring up someone's wife innocently or bring up someone's children innocently. And then now we have wives who are inserting themselves in the madness. So we're going to talk about that as well. Is she free game if she's inserting herself? So today I got some veterans. I got some heavy hitters backstage. I got Mr. O, who's always dapper. And we got OG Patrice with us. And I put the link in the chat already. I will put it again if somebody wants to jump in on this conversation, because you may have something to add. Like I said, no one is exempt from this conversation. You can even bring up something you saw me do or say or whatever. We are going to peel back the layers on this and decide today collectively, is there a code? Should children, wives, girlfriends, boyfriend, husbands be off limits during these debates? Okay, welcome everyone in the chat. I'm so happy to see y'all here early. I know this is an early show, so thank you for rocking with me. Mr. O, OG Patrice, what's happening?
What's good? Happy Monday. How you
Happy
doing, Mr. O? How you doing, Lady Jen?
I'm doing really, really good.
Well. Good, Patrice.
I'm good. I'm good. What's up to the chat?
Hey, chat. What's up? Lucky Marie. Yes, it's funny you say happy Monday, because I tried, how we've conditioned all our lives to dread Monday, like, oh, Monday's coming. So I always say, may your Monday feel like a Friday, right? Because I think it's just conditioning. Like, we dread Monday because it's like, oh, we stopped having fun Saturday and Sunday. So I'm like, my Mondays are Fridays. I don't give a damn. I run my mouth, right?
Absolutely. I went out last night, so I'm definitely feeling like it was a Friday and I'm dragging in on Monday to work.
That's what I'm talking about. So
Sunday.
I'm already.
Where you
I'm
at, Patrice? What city you in?
I'm in Arizona.
Oh man, I'm thinking about moving to Arizona next year.
I was in
Scottsdale.
Vegas where Jen is. I miss Vegas though.
you have to
What
come
kind of?
back to visit.
It's
I
right
will.
there though. It's right
Yeah,
there.
it's not that
I'm
far.
thinking about Scottsdale.
That's where I am in that area.
Man, that's what I've been considering.
Okay, so
So
I'm
y'all do
looking at the
Sunday
chat.
fun day out there too?
Yeah.
That's our biggest night in Houston too, Sundays. So I know how you feel. Long night.
Okay,
But
so
we
let's
got to
get
get
in.
into it.
We got to get into
Darrell
it.
went live this morning. That if you brought his name up, he went live this morning, and he lightly touched on some of these issues.
Who did?
Darrell
Okay, yeah,
this
I did.
morning.
I did.
Right.
You guys are up early with the roasting.
Yeah, he called me before I even made it to bed. But yeah,
I was up 30 a.m. and I was like, I know these men aren't on right now. You guys were on, and you said you
I
had
know
been.
I was on there too. Yeah. I was on there.
Yeah,
so
we don't sleep.
I wanted to make a statement before we got into like the specifics. Like,
Absolutely.
men.
Hold on, I'm sorry. Patrice, I may have to mute you because there's like a weird feedback from your mic.
Okay. Because I thought I was hearing the echo from you, but okay.
I think no, there's an echo from me, but then there's like that weird scratchy thing from you.
Okay. All right, cool.
Okay. So we got Lucky Marie on the panel. What's up, lady?
Lucky.
Hey y'all. Hey Mr. O.
How
I
you
seen
doing?
you last night.
That's what's going on. What's going on?
Hi Patrice. How y'all doing?
I'm doing
Hi, beautiful
well.
Lucky.
We are good. We are good. So we jumping into this today, Marie. We jumping into this. We're gonna figure out what is their code. Is there code in the YouTube street? So I know, Mr. O, you wanted to make a statement before we even started naming names.
Look, I hope we was respectful when we came to y'all house yesterday and we wiped our feet off, man. Me and my boy, we get together, we just be putting on the show, man, living. It don't take us too serious, man.
Y'all good. We actually want to have y'all back. So
For sure.
no problem.
Chad gonna pull up on his own at his own house early. Somebody had mentioned we roommates. Nah, he just came over. We don't live together. But he gonna pull up in a minute. I think somebody said that over there at that other channel, like Slick. Yeah. But I wanted to say this about men, man. Like, I know women, they gonna handle they difficulties a certain way. If a woman don't see you as no man, you can't expect her to treat you like one. And it's gonna come out like Jen did the other day. Get off my thing, like she gonna say suck it. It's gonna happen sometimes when you keep pushing a woman. But like for men, we always know that there's like a low level threat of violence at all times. And I think it's necessary as men for that pressure to be omnipresent. However, like you don't have to like act on it like that. I know that it exists and it exists for real reason. It kind of keeps things in line on our side. Like I'm not the type of guy to do these emotional things and get my nails dirty, but I definitely got guys with me that will get you while you walking down the street with your mama and they don't care. So it ain't no rules when somebody feel offended as a man a certain way. I can't tell them how to handle it. I can tell them how men should move for a better outcome because you looking to maintain your liberty out here. You ain't trying to get locked up or die. But I think it's necessary. With that being said, like a lot of men, they always say things like, when we go out, this is what I'm gonna do if somebody do something to me, but nobody plan for what that person gonna do to them. Like you don't say like when I beat him up because he said you had a fat ass, and then he pull out his gun and kill me. Then I want you to take my savings account and do this and make sure my mama and you don't plan for like that. And guys ain't even thinking like that. They're just out here moving like women. And I know women ain't thinking like I better slow down and not say that before he kill me. Women just trying to hurt you with words because they can't physically do it. But they know that they have a feeling that we're not really, they don't really expect us to retaliate physically. Guys, we definitely know that that's there, and we always got to be mindful of it. We always do, but it's necessary. That type of pressure out here is necessary. These guys that there's a lot of envious men in this planet. So you're moving on emotion based on envy. You got guys that won't like me just because he has an orange pocket square in the street. I don't like it that he has it. So I'm gonna hate on him and try to mess up his money and do this and that. And so I'm not gonna handle that. I'm not a street guy, but I definitely have street guys that are around me that will get you when you walking with your mama and your grandma and then come to the reception and just to make sure they got you. So like it exists and it's necessary. Hello.
Okay, real quick, we have the King.
But it's necessary.
We got conversations with King in the building. Hola.
What's up? My apologies for my tardiness. I was, I do my afternoon shout out to Mr. O. Much love and respect to Mr. O. I love how you keeping it up here, man. Always flying dapper. And shout out to Jen, because she's always keeping it real spicy and beautiful and brilliant. And I just hope everybody takes the time to watch the jewels that she's dropping. And also notice that she's at 962, I believe. So
yes, I need that G. She need that 1,000.
She need that 1,000, and I think she can get it by the end of the week if we all, just tell a friend. If everybody just tell one friend, she probably at 2,000 by the end of the week. So let's just make it happen. Make it happen quick. Yeah, thank you. My friends become your friends, So, and Mr. O, he's up next. So when we do it for her, Darrell, him, Chef, everybody, let's get everybody up, because the new year is coming. We're trying to get this money. If it ain't about money, then what we talking about? I apologize. I'm in my sweats right now. Don't mind me.
I gotta run to the front door, grab my Gold Puff order. I'll be right back.
Because we're gonna talk to the ladies real quick. OG, since you were here first, please, lady, let me know what you think about this subject today, and then we'll throw it to Lucky.
Right. It's very disheartening and very disturbing. As someone that's been on these YouTube streets for about a year now, a lot of the things that I'm seeing, not very, very proud of, in these YouTube streets. Being an OG, was raised by OGs. I come from an era where, the older ones definitely pulled us to the side and pulled our coattail when we was effing up, right? Like when we was out here being raggedy, when we was out here being, wild, when we was out here doing and saying certain things, we would get our coattail pulled, and we were being told, what you did, that was foul, and you need to make it right. What you said was foul, and you need to make that right, right? I grew up in a neighborhood on the south side of Chicago, right, where, OGs that raised you protected the women, the children, the veterans, and the elderlies. Those were the four secular groups that was off limits, period, point blank. And even though I grew up with the GDs and the BDs and, and the peoples and the folks or whatever they called themselves back then, there was a code that they even knew the good kids that wasn't in the gangs. Like if you was in the neighborhood and they were raised with you and they may have been banging and you wasn't banging, you was still protected. Because if they saw you was going to school and doing the right thing, hey, don't mess with him or her. They off limits. They even would do things like pay for stuff for them, like to make sure they stayed on the straight and narrow and didn't go off and things like that. Because I grew up around some OGs that helped raise Juwan Howard, who made it to the NBA. And he talks about that all the time, about how I named my son after Juwan Howard. Listen, we were raised, and he was raised in a time where he was raised by those OGs that protected him, because he could have easily went the other way growing up on the south side of Chicago. So, like there's no honor no more. Ain't no honor among thieves, they say, because it's no honor, it's no code. Anytime you got these people on the street killing your babies, killing women, killing the elderly, it's easy for anything to pop off in these YouTube streets with all these beef that's going on, because literally on social media, there was two women that got into a beef on social media. It was on Facebook, and one actually followed through with the threat and deleted the other woman. So, you know, it's that serious. And some of the behavior and things that I'm seeing now is unacceptable. And if an OG or nobody else can't pull their coattail and say, hey, you know, that was foul. You shouldn't have did that. That was wrong. Make it right. You know, make it right. It's not, it will behoove you to apologize. You know, just heed the warning. It's okay. You know, that shows maturity. That shows growth. That shows knowledge that you're trying to level up with your maturity level as a young man or as a young woman. If you can say, wow, that was foul. My bad. I'm sorry. It's okay. It's okay to say, I'm sorry. You know, my bad. You know, can we talk about it? You know, can we discuss it man to man or woman to woman or man to woman or whatever the case may be? But I'm seeing very little of that. Very little of that. And then one person might apologize, the other one feel they too good to apologize or too stubborn to apologize or whatever. But just think about it, guys. You know, if you got any kind of conscience, you lay down at night, like shit don't bother you. Like when you looking in the mirror, shit don't bother you. And if you knew you were the one that was foul,
Right.
I'm just saying, just find the OGs or somebody that's gonna be real to you. And I'm not talking about your friends that's gonna kiss your ass and suck up to you. I'm talking about the ones that your true friends are the ones gonna tell you, no, yo, that was foul.
Okay.
Make it right.
Okay, thank you so much, Patrice. Let me shout out Harrison Family Vlogs is in the building, dropping the gems in the chat. Lucky, I'd like to hear what you think about the topic before we even get to specifics and start naming names. Like I said, and no one's exempt. Y'all can name me too if you saw something that you thought was out of pocket or too much. Okay, no, we're all everybody, all hands on deck today. So, Lucky, what do you think about the subject? What's up? Truth is never favored. Good to see you here too, as well, sir.
All right. The subject is pretty much our kids, wife and kids, family in general off limits in what, an argument?
Yeah, because there have been like some debates, some very, very vitriolic debates and arguments going back and forth and reaction videos. And people have brought up people's wives and other people's children and things like that.
I think it just depends on, I'm going to say no, only because who determines what's the limit on disrespect? If you come disrespect me and let's say I'm doing bad over here, right? I'm doing horrible. And you say that's why you're on Section 8. And I come back and I say, F your kids, your wife, your grandma. You don't know how that affected me, what you just said. Oftentimes, you know, in these spaces we say, well, basically disrespect me with the same level of disrespect I gave you. So if I say your shirt ugly, you're supposed to come back and say something about my outfit. You're not supposed to slap me. You know what I'm saying? But if we weren't on the screen and people said the same type of disrespect, how would it happen? So I think if you want your family off limits to disrespect, then don't be disrespectful. That's just how I look at it. Because if you disrespect me, depending on how I take it, for the most part, I get disrespected all the time and don't really say anything. You know, people say slick stuff all the time. But if you catch me on a bad day and you say something slick, yeah, I don't care, especially if we're online. What are you going to do? You know what I'm saying? I'm going to probably make you want to pull up on me because you just disrespected me. So I think if you want your family off limits, then you should stop being disrespectful if you don't want anybody to talk about who you're with. Like, that's like what you said, Jen, earlier. If a dude is like talking about your looks, you're not even all that. You're not even this. Would that be wrong if you mention how his wife look? Or his baby mother, or is it you should just talk about him and not his wife? So I don't know. I think it's, if you want certain things off limit, then just be respectful all the time. Be a law-abiding citizen.
Okay, so that's a different perspective. I want to welcome Harrison Family Vlogs is on the panel, and Hef just joined us. Mr. O's partner on the chat is heating up.
What's going on?
Them likes.
Turn the likes up. Get me to that 1,000. Thank you. All right, so now it's getting interesting because Lucky just said, "Hey, nothing is off limits. You come at me, I'm gonna go back at you, and it might not be with the same heat. Maybe with some more heat." So what do you think about that? Truth is never favored, so I could go in order. Thank you everyone who's tuning in. I appreciate you so much.
Yeah, you know, Mike Tyson said it best, man. He said that social media has made people comfortable to get on here and say things because they think they can't get hit in their face. More than likely, I mean, nothing's that thick on here that to be calling a beef. First of all, the people on here ain't even thorough like that. Like half the time, I be telling people a lot of times they get on here and if we were face to face, they would actually be terrified. Like some of this stuff that they don't even understand people's backgrounds to be coming off. That's why I don't even come off
Exactly.
disrespectful because of the street that I come from, the city I'm raised in. We don't disrespect each other like that. We already know what time it is off rip if you disrespect somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So be careful with our words. So that's how I carry it. I carry it wherever way I go. I already know what I'm capable of and what I do with my hands. You feel what I'm saying? So people just get on here and put up a persona and get on here and say all types of stuff. It's like this gives them free will to say things that they always wanted to say, but they've been too much of a coward to say it to other people. It's just like when you be getting on video games. I don't know if you play video games or whatever, but these kids on here be saying all types of crazy stuff on there, man. Like it just be crazy. It just be wild. It just be wild as I don't know what. But as far as like kids and mothers and things like that and females and everything, I never crossed those lines, period, just because of who I am as a man. But you can't tell somebody how to respond. That's just like in real life. It's like you tell somebody, "Oh yeah, I pushed you, so you're supposed to push me back." No, you put your hands on me, I'm putting my fist through your face. Like that's not. You just don't touch me, man. Just don't touch me. So basically, on here, like you come off and say something to somebody else, like yo, you can't tell them don't talk about my wife, don't talk about my children. Just be respectful at all times. Carry yourself with decency at all times. If somebody disrespect you, then you disrespect them. I don't really go through like the back and forth stuff. I just tell people like it is, like, watch your mouth. And if you want to carry it some other type of way, we can do that. I don't really do too much talking as far as when it comes to that.
Okay, so I could definitely vouch for Lucky and True because I do see that both of y'all, your demeanor is kind of like when I've seen people go at you and you kind of like, okay. So I could definitely vouch for that. So okay, panel, we have two people saying, hey, it is what it is. You come at me, I'm gonna go back at you. What do you think, Harrison Family Vlogs?
Hey, what's going on? Can you guys hear me?
Yep, perfectly.
Yeah, I think I see it a little bit differently. Not that, again, it's not that I disagree. I just see things a little bit differently. Like my first approach is try to make peace out of situation. Second, I know how to pick people apart without having to get to their level. I'm the type of person that if you want to talk to me, you're going to talk to me on my level. I'm not stooping down to yours. So, but at the end of the day, you're not going to disrespect my family or my kids. And I think that cowards go that route. They can't. And again, I'm going to say it. And if people get in their feelings, it is what it is. But cowards go the route of trying to get at people's family instead of going straight at the person. Right. Or they lost the argument or the battle and they have to try to find a one up. Keep it where it is. Keep it where it is. If I got issues with you and I'm a man, I'm keeping my issues with you. I don't need to go at your family to hurt you. I don't need to go at your kids to hurt you. I have enough brains to pick you apart logically. It is what it is. Like, I just think that going to somebody, again, I see it differently. I'm not about to stoop to nobody's level. If they want to engage me in anything, you need to come up to mine. And that's how I see it.
Okay,
Like,
Harrison.
men
How would you handle if someone disagreed with you and started attacking your family in any way, shape, or form? What would you do? Like literally, what would you do?
I would call them out for being a
Turn
coward.
the lights up.
Yeah, first do that. All right, first turn the lights up. The second, I will call them out for the coward that they are. They can't get at me, or their argument isn't as strong to come at me and specifically. So they got to come at my kids and my family. Really? It's nonsense. Children do that. Again, I teach, right? And you know what fourth grade students do when they about to lose an argument?
What's
They
that?
start insulting family.
Yeah.
Now, your mama ugly. Wait a minute. Like, my mama not even here. like, so when I see people do that, and again, I'm not trying to step on any toes, or offend anybody, but when I see adults do that, I automatically think about the behaviors that my fourth grade students display when they lose an argument. We got to be grown enough to say, I got an issue with you. I'm going to pick you apart with my argument. And I don't have to bring anybody else in the situation to try to make you feel bad. I have enough ammunition just on you alone to make you feel bad. Or take the L and keep it moving. I think you keep family, wife, kids out of every argument. And that's how I see it.
See, men who have like mastered the art of being able to mentally respond to emotional reactions in life and control themselves, they definitely know how to de-escalate this. And there's so many other ways it could go. However, I was just saying that like in a fight on a street or anything like that, there is no set rules. It's not MMA, it's not Taekwondo, it's not boxing, it's not the military. If somebody get knocked out and there is a brick laying next to them, they're gonna pick that brick up and they're gonna do what they gotta do to survive. And you can't tell somebody how to feel. Like my dad went through a tougher time than me growing up. But how can he not be sensitive to how I feel and what I grew up in, which is different than his? So he can't say, "Are you too soft?" I can't do that to my child who grew up in a different generation and his little issues. I want to say that they're not important to him. However, a man feel about what he loves, he gonna do whatever he can to protect it. I can't tell him what to do. I can't tell him not to do that. I expect women to do that, but I can't women to move like that, but I can't expect a man to listen to me on how he should defend what's important to him. I gotta let it rock. I'm not saying that I would do it, but you can't tell somebody how they feel about what they're going through and how they handle it just based on where they are in their life or what's important to them. A guy that got nothing to lose and he on his last dollar and some you insulted meant life or death to him, meant everything to him. We don't know what it means.
Okay,
And
so
saying that, you
before
giving guys a button to push on you by reacting that way. Now they always can push that button. Like, watch this. Want to see him get out of character? And he does it, So you gotta be mindful of that too.
And we saw that, I think, between Darrell and E Black, where Darrell was constantly pushing the wife button because E Black showed injury whenever his wife was brought up. So Darrell just ran around with this huge the easy button from Staples. Y'all know that button, easy. So that had wife on it, and every time Darrell would press it to the point where E Black just bounced. Before I start going into particular incidents, Hef, are you gonna be safe talking and driving?
For me?
Yes.
Hef,
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Hef
Yeah.
down at the bottom. Chad,
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm good.
he
you ain't
got
got your volume on. You're on mute.
Hef on there. So you want to be addressed
And
as
y'all
Hef?
saw him in the background with the little slight cap. That's our tailor. Anybody want to know where I got that robe from? Look at my video where he was just at. That was the guy who actually made that robe.
Okay.
And who won today? We do this every morning. Who best dressed today? We do this every day.
You
Very,
funny.
very
We
nice.
always
Stop
compete.
that.
Very nice.
I think I
Appreciate
got you today.
so much. So do you want to go as Hef or Chad?
I don't mind. Either or.
Okay. So since I met you as Chad, let's do Chad. What do you think about the subject before
Okay.
we get into particulars?
Well, I mean, I'm just the type that's real nonchalant about things. I don't care to entertain things that aren't readily affecting me. You put your hands on me, I'll respond in kind. Words, all that lip wrestling and lip tussling. I'm from a place where, you know, guys is pulling up on you. People is losing their lives behind this type of stuff, and I chose to live above all of that. I don't want to entertain all that. So, um, I just felt like the incident where I was witnessing them talk about what's his name, Darrell.
Mm-hmm.
Where I just felt like
whatever issue he had with whatever was said, he could have responded in kind, but he went overboard with the name calling, posting pictures, talking about what he has and how much he's better than a person, and it became a dick measuring contest, and I'm like, I'm not into this at all. So I mean, to each his own, I guess, but it's not for me for sure.
We saw all the time. There's a whole lot of unplayer shit going on, and that's what that was. It was unplayer.
Okay, so let's get a little specific. Yeah. There's an echo, sorry guys, it comes and it goes.
I mean, using the NIGGER, that's hate.
Yeah, so
And what
let's
was the
talk
purpose
about
of that?
Let's talk about that because
That's
you know the
hate.
word the either the N word or nigga with the GA at
Like
the
you
end.
hate him because he did a reaction to your video.
The hip hop nigga has been controversial. The ER is controversial. The N word is controversial. So that's something I noticed when Chaotic Truth went off. And I'm not saying that Chaotic Truth shouldn't have gone off, right? Because I'm also from the school of you can't tell people how to react to you violating them. It's just black and white for me. You can't tell people how to react after you violate them. That's the school of thought I come from. Some people may say, like Harrison said, well, that's a 4-year-old mindset. Some people may say it's not it's not player mentality or behavior, but I'm from the school of you can't tell people how to react to when you violate them, right? We all have different opinions. None of them are wrong. They're just our experiences and how we handle life. Now, I thought that because that word was so controversial, I found it interesting that not only did Chaotic Truth acknowledge that he was using, the N word with the ER at the end, but said why he was. So it's not like, oh, did he use the ER? Did he use the GA? No, he specified, I'm using the ER because this is what you are. I thought that was a bit much, but again, hey, I can't, again, if I'm living by my rule, I can't tell people how to react to being violated. I guess Chaotic Truth felt violated and he felt that was the way to handle it. He kept Darrell's picture up, a shirtless picture, kept calling him a fat this and that and the third. There was a lot of sailor talk going on. It was really, really bad. Did I think he matched his energy? No, because believe it or not, Darrell's reaction video to Chaotic Truth didn't have that much heat on it. Now it had a couple of disses here and there that were absolutely hilarious, but it didn't have the heat that Chaotic Truth came back with. And it was interesting because Chaotic Truth himself even said during his reaction video, I don't even know why I reacted like this. So I told him that, I think he reacted like that because it's the environment you're in. I don't care how even keel you are. After a while, you lay with dogs, you're gonna get fleas, right? You lay with dogs, you're gonna get fleas. So I was telling him in response to his question that he doesn't even know why he reacted like that towards Darrell is maybe he's been in this environment and this environment can be stressful. This environment can be very stressful. Like you've seen me go off when I have dudes coming at me over and over and over and over again. And it's the same guy. Like, I go off because I'm like, all right, enough is the fuck enough, right? So maybe Chaotic Truth was just stressed about other things or uptight about something else. And then they called him up and was like, oh, Darrell's talking about you. And he just went off. He went off.
See, there's an art to roasting. I don't want the ladies to see when men are roasting one another, just jonesing, like we just sparring with wit. Like that's different than like insulting a man like a woman would to get a reaction out of him.
Agreed.
You could roast without pulling up your skirt and showing your panties.
Did anybody else see the Chaotic Truth?
For a guy, a man, when a man is getting emotional like a woman, he's showing me he got panties on. He's got a skirt up on there. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Does anybody else have an opinion on how hard Chaotic Truth went with Darrell?
I didn't see it, honestly, and I don't know what people find entertaining, but one of the things I find entertaining is beef. That's one of the reasons why I'm a big 50 Cent fan. Some things is for marketing, and even with men just they have an ego. I grew up around men who, when you get something new, you flexing on your cousins or anybody, big bank, like that's why. So it's it's just strange in this atmosphere. I'm hearing other men, not you guys per se, but just over YouTube, they talk about that's childish to bring up what you have or to show what you have. No, that's a part of like an accomplishment. So that's how men usually flex on each other. So it's different than women. Women, when they argue, it's what I'll take your man, or something like that regarding their looks or sexually. So when men fight or argue or beef or roast, they're gonna throw in how much they got. They're gonna throw in the things that they're proud of. So I think, yeah, sometimes it could get childish if you don't have nothing else to put up. But I'm sure if it's the same thing with people thought with King and Anton when it got like that. Like, I liked it because I like the whole macho stuff. If you could talk it, talk it. Like, that's how people shoot dice. That's how people play pool. That's how they play spades. Like, all those things. So
But
I
do
think it just
men hang up the
depends
phone on other
on
men?
the situation. You said what?
Do men hang up the phone in another man's face though? We could spar
Yeah,
and be witty and roast, but at the end of the call, do men hang up? Like even with Chad right here, my brother, when we have a disagreement, I'm not hanging up the phone in his face. I'm gonna tell him how I feel. Like
but
it's
that would be
just,
you. Like, that's what makes people individuals. So if everybody thought like you, I'm sure things will go the same way, but people are different. So where I went wrong in life is expecting people to respond like me. And I couldn't tell you what I've been through. I've been through violence, attack, like somebody tried to kill me. But I approached them with violence. So I was ready for whatever. So I just think that in also conversations with men online, and there's also, you may not like them. If I'm roasting you and I'm saying certain things, it might be funny to me if what I'm saying is not funny to you. And if I know that, I'm going to keep poking at it because I don't like you. And it can be childish, you know what I'm saying? But you have adults do it, like older people do this. People do it. We have men online who do it to women, try to break them down on platforms or different things to where they would hang up. So it's like when you have, you know, men going back and forth where one person can't take the heat, then get out the kitchen. I think it should be that. But I think it's also, how are men holding these men in these spaces accountable if they don't like it? So I think that's a part of the conversation that needs to be had. How do you hold somebody accountable for responding to disrespect without first addressing the initiator? If we know a person's going to respond radical or they going to take it all the way there, why poke the bear and then get upset when the bear is up and you want it to just stop? I don't understand that part. It's kind of like one-sided aggression.
I
Mm.
That,
think I think in the
that be going on a lot in here. People be doing the little, I call it the cry wolf syndrome. Soon as somebody like take you there and then they see how real you come with it, then oh, you mean you're a bully or something like that. No, I ain't trying to hear that. None of that.
It's interesting. Lucky, that point of view is interesting because Chaotic Truth was yelling at the top of his lungs during his reaction video because people were saying that he was going too hard on Darrell. And he was pissed off, saying, "Why are you coming at me, telling me I'm going too hard when I'm doing this because he came at me?" And he was very upset about it. He was backstage. Chaotic Truth was backstage. I don't see him now, so I guess he accepted the invite. Maybe he's coming back. I'd love for him to come back on because I like talking about people when they're in the room, and I am going to bring up his wife. So I really hope that he comes back.
I just want to say something, Jen.
Yes, please.
As an example, just check the comments. You see somebody said I'm a thought. They don't even know me. Now, if I responded with no picture and brought up anybody, his child or his wife or anybody, would I be wrong? Or would
I would
somebody address
that. Who said that?
I think I think when you become of a certain age and maturity level, and it's different for everybody, like you have to pick your battles, right? You can't, I mean, it will be asinine and detrimental to just decide to try to be in every battle because somebody said something or did something, or what, especially on a social media platform.
I
Like,
agree.
like I'm not finna go after nobody child or spouse just because you said I live in the projects. Like that's a battle I'm gonna choose. Like, and if I'm gonna come back at you and only you because you said something about where I live, then that will be equal if I come back and say something about where you live or at work or your particular situation. I'm going to say, oh, you talked about me living in the project, so now I'm finna bring your mom in there. Like, no, like we have to choose our battles. And that comes with a certain level of maturity for each individual. And I know it's different for each individual. But I think that the main thing is what I'm seeing in the Black community, especially with Black men against Black man or Black male against male, is this vitriol that is spit based off of a lot of things that triggered us in our Black communities that have been very problematic, things that we have not touched on and that need to be conversations be had about, like the relationship things and the verbal abuse, the feeling like you got to, get up one on the other person by dogging the other person. Like that's like a thing. And then I see a lot of people jumping on the bandwagon because they down with somebody. You know what I mean? So they jump on that bandwagon because that person is beefing with them. So they got to beef with them. Like, no, what we doing? Are we in 5th grade here? So it's like you got to choose your battles. You know what I mean? Now, I'm just serious.
No, you
because
telling the truth, for real.
It's so bad in the Black community, and I think a lot of it has to do with a lot of self-hate, a lot of self-esteem, a lot of selfless things within ourselves that we tend to spit the venom out on other people, and that is very problematic.
Okay, so here's what I don't know who this Chief Sosa is, but it seems like he doesn't know how to conduct themselves. So you got to go. I don't know who you are. You don't have a picture, but we're not doing that here. Take your ass back to one of these other cats' pages and talk to women over there that way. Goodbye. See you later. Don't know who you are. Don't care. Don't know you. Don't know you. As we
got
were
threatened this morning on the other channel. He got threatened on their channel, the same guy.
Well, whoever, I don't have a moderator. I'm still new, right? I'm still struggle streaming. So if you guys catch something, let me know. They'll go. I don't care. I really don't care. He's gone, whoever that was. All right. Let's continue. Hopefully Chaotic Truth will come back so we can address the situation that happened between his wife and I last night. But let's continue. You, Patrice, you were saying that you think it's a self-hate thing, why it's so easy for us to go back and forth with each other and aim for the jugular.
Yeah, absolutely. And and there was a time when, especially in my time coming up in the hood, like when men were beefing, you women stayed out of it. Like let men handle it, and hopefully they can get it handled and resolved. And whatever that looked like, whether it be somebody got the beat down, whether they got checked, like whatever it was, women stayed out of it. Women was only involved with other women issues. Like women did not get in men issues. We may say, well, what's the resolution? You've been beefing and it's going around and around in circles. Come on now. What's the resolution? I would say something like that, but like I wouldn't like insert myself in two men's beef, even if it was my husband's. Like let him, he's a man. Let him handle that. Let him do the man thing, right? Because I don't want him getting in the woman fight. If I'm beefing with another woman, like I would entrust that he would hope that I would be able to handle that. As long as it did get too far out of whack where, the husbands, one husband get in and trying to jump on the wife, then yeah, my husband gonna get in and come at that husband. And that's a different story. But I think that certain things women shouldn't insert themselves in when it comes to beef with men, other than to say, find the resolution.
Okay. So speaking of wives, Chaotic Truth's not here, so I may have to repeat myself. I want to speak specifically to wives because yesterday his wife and I got into something and she cut me off of the panel. Now, I didn't know that she was running his panel. I don't know if you can, I don't know how they're running their page, but apparently she had control over who can stay on the panel and who couldn't. And I thought it was Chaotic Truth's page, but apparently I don't know how that happens because, again, I'm still learning this machine. And basically what happened, long story short, Chaotic Truth was asking a question, just basically asking his audience, what's the solution to this? After he went off, because Chaotic Truth usually like goes off, I will give him this, and then he comes back down. Like, okay, you know, because I don't really think he's like that. I think Darrell is more innately like, I'll you know, I'll scorch the earth. I don't think Chaotic Truth is that type of personality, because I've seen him go off before, and then when he's kind of like reeled in, he'll come back down. And that's what I saw happening yesterday. So him and I were in a conversation, and I was telling him, I think it was Chad who was saying that he just doesn't do that. He doesn't react to men that way. He doesn't go back and forth. And I said, it's funny you should say, because in the situation I'm in, the man that I'm dealing with, if he'll walk by me on YouTube and hear two men going at each other, and this is what I said verbatim, if the man I'm with hears two men at each other, he'll make live of it, and he'll ask me like, don't tell me them dudes is on there arguing about who got more subscribers. Like, who does that? Like, what man does that, right? That's his opinion. That's his opinion. He's allowed to, like we're all allowed our opinions. So I mentioned that to Chaotic Truth, and then his wife got offended and jumped in. At the time, I didn't know that that was Chaotic Truth's wife. I didn't know anybody had their wife on these panels, but apparently that was his wife. Her name is Cherry. And I think she's cool. I have no beef with her. She can come on the panel as well and explain her side of what happened. But she was basically jumping down my throat. She was like, you're comparing your man to my man, and my man this, and my man that. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. First of all, I didn't know this was your man because you guys didn't announce it. But I know, marriages are one person. So I get you trying to stick up for your husband, or your husband trying to stick up for your wife. I get it. But I was a little like, okay, what's going on here? Is she the wife? Who's her man? I didn't even know who her man was at the time when she was saying that. So then I was like, oh, okay, this is Chaotic Truth's wife, and she's listening in, laying in the cut. And then she came to his defense, but I felt like there was no defense needed because I wasn't coming at Chaotic Truth. I was telling him that not all men make money fighting online. So I guess she felt insulted, like, hey, my man makes money online, and you're comparing your man to mine. I was like, that's not what I was doing. And then when I was trying to explain, she kept cutting me off, and you know how I get. And then she cut me off the panel. She didn't want to hear it, but she's the one that asked me the question. So I was trying to answer her question, but she didn't want the answer. So in an incident like that, I want to ask the panel, right? In an incident like that, where a wife is inserting herself, is it okay then to go at the wife? Or should you still be like, no, this is between Chaotic Truth and I and the men on the panel? What do you think about that? Whoever wants to answer.
A woman, if the situations is two women, like only you could go at his wife. Like when she was saying stuff, I was just laughing, like she's not important. If I'm out at a bar and I see a man get into it with another man, the moment that man's wife jumps up and tells her husband, gives her husband some instructions to like sit down or let's go or don't do that. To me, she's showing everybody she don't really respect her man's ability to handle the situation. She really has a little leverage. She probably sees him as her child or her son more than she does her man. And that's what it looked like. And that's what I've known to more than not when women interject themselves and they kind of like, they disrespecting a man in public, and it makes him look weak. It didn't make him look better for his wife to be doing all that.
Right.
And it reflects his relationship with her. Y'all see the one at the football game with the Pittsburgh, where the white girl was.
Yeah, and he punched her.
Yeah, and then when the white boy stood up trying to get involved, she told him to sit down. And then like when he got knocked out and he came back too, she yelled at him again. Like, it's no wonder she was talking to that black man like that, because she talked to her husband like that.
Right.
Her man like that. In public.
Mr. O, one thing I can say, you're absolutely right. When a woman need to have more confidence in their man, how they handle situations. Now, it's one thing to get up and tell your man to calm down because you know he has probation and you know he's a killer. So you're trying to tell him to chill. But when you step in the crossfire, then it shows me that your wife don't really respect you, and she don't even think you dangerous like that, right? So usually, my woman I deal with, they tell me to calm down or chill out. You're on probation. Stuff like that, and this is why I want to make something very clear. There's no rules to engagement or beef. This is why you have to respect everybody. Simple. Respect everybody because you don't know how someone's going to react. No one cares about how the gangs used to take care of people back in the days because whoever tells you that, because I'm from Brooklyn and I've been in Chicago, whoever tells you that all the gang leaders from Larry Hoover to Willie Lord, rights lords, they started when they were babies. They were kids. So how are you going to tell me that they respected the kids when they started as kids causing ruckus? It's just that as they got older and they had kids, they said, oh, no, I don't want my child involved with this because they became wiser. That's why they did that, made those rules, growth and development. That's why. But they were kids when they started. Most of the kids now as gangsters, they go through the rites of passage when they're 14, 16. Right. They get busy at a young age. That's how they get the rites of passage. They OGs when they're 24. So you can't say kids lead the kids. The kids are the ones active. Because the old heads don't want to do it. Most of the old heads is locked up. The other ones don't want to get active. So the young kids is out here causing a wreck. So with that being said, do yourself a favor. I don't care if it's in the virtual world or the physical world. Give everybody respect because you don't know how they coming. And if you're not prepared for it, even me. The biggest gangsters I know are the most respectful people. They're going to do everything possible to avoid the situation. They're going to cross the street. They're going to say, I'm sorry. They're going to let you, I apologize. I'm in the club. Oh, I didn't mean to step on you. Can I buy you a drink? I'm sorry for that. Oh, please forgive me. Because they know where it could go. The ones that are easily go like that, it's the ones that they're on drugs and they don't really know. And if they do, they don't love themselves. So stay away from those people. Stay away from those people. That's why I tell people all the time, leave certain people alone because those people are telling you, I don't have a pause button, right? So I'm going to show respect. Like Mr. O, respect. You see what you did yesterday that was respectful? When his wife kicked her off the stage, you know what you said? You said, I ain't messing with that. Click, I'm going.
I left right away.
Men stay out real men stay out the way.
We out of it. Yeah. Like I said earlier, people don't plan for you. Just playing. You talking tough. Like this, is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this, and you roaring and you beating on your chest. But you never plan what somebody gonna do to you. You never even think about it. And we know as men that threat of violence exists. Whenever there's a discrepancy, one of us could die. If two men are arguing, somebody could die. This is why we need to try to de-escalate and not lead with emotion until we are left with no choice.
So I see someone saying Maybach Music said drop the link for my bro Chaotic. So Chaotic Truth is here, or Kevin in sales, or Kevin, he's here, and we've been talking about him. So I'd love for him to come on and address some of these things because I like talking about people when they in the room. What's up, Chaotic Truth, aka Kevin in sales? What should we call you now, sir?
Well, I mean, I would prefer you guys call me Prime Time, but you can call me Kevin in sales.
So it's Kevin in sales, not Chaotic Truth.
Well, I'm not the Chaotic Truth over here. I'm Kevin in sales over here because I did that diatribe last night from Kevin in sales, my old beef sector page that was defunct up until yesterday. Was defunct for quite some time. Actually, I haven't been on that page in a long time. But how you doing, Jen?
I'm really good, and thank you for accepting the invite. I don't know how much you've heard. We're talking in general about.
Yeah, I would like to address. I've been listening. I've been cooking.
Turn the lights up. Turn the lights up, please. And also,
turn the lights up before. Wait a minute, before Kevin in sales gets started, because he's the person I have been talking about, and I know you want to hear what he has to say, his side of the story. Turn the lights up. I need to see some likes. I see a lot of people in the chat, and it's not matching the likes. So I'm gonna give you a couple seconds to get it together because I really want to hear what Chaotic Truth has to say. Hit the likes and hit that subscribe button. Por favor, I appreciate you greatly. And let's
y'all stop playing with the like button, man. Too much gaming here. Too many all-stars up here.
Yeah, that's like the all-star panel right here. Okay,
can you hear me?
I can hear Kevin in sales. Please, whatever you'd like to address, feel free.
Yeah, I'm cooking right now. I'm enjoying my evening. It's It's a cold Monday where I'm at on the Midwest, but I'm enjoying
You
it.
ain't gonna cam up, man.
I don't want to be inappropriate and cam up and show you me just cooking. You know, I like to be formal. However, salute to everybody on the panel, Mr. O's. Of course, conversation with the King. I want to say that you were a great intermediary yesterday between me and my bro Daryl.
Respect.
I want to broach two things, and I'm going to get the hell up out of here. I want to make a disclaimer to anyone who is unaware of the situation. I don't believe that anyone believes this, but I did not throw any smoke at Darrell's family. I am never going to do that ever, whether it's YouTube or real life. I've never been like that. So I just want to make a disclaimer to that. If anybody has some sort of misconception about what was earlier said, that I'm pretty sure that you meant. I'm pretty sure, Jen, you were trying to have an overall topic about just YouTube itself with beef. Okay, yeah, because I didn't say anything about, and I actually tried to avoid his Instagram because of that very reason, you know, bringing up his Instagram, which I really wanted to troll, but I wanted to talk about my wife and you.
Okay.
Generally, no, Jen, no disrespect to you or anyone on the panel, but I grew up in a nuclear family. And I grew up in a family, my mother and father are still alive. My dad is damn near 90. My mom is almost 70. And I grew up in a very nice community. A lot of my friends grew up in nuclear families. And one thing that I've learned by growing up.
Are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me? Oh, okay, there
Yes,
we go. I don't know why my mic keeps going out. Men, when we are engaged in a conversation, and this is why I kind of like what the young lady was saying about her father. When men are engaged in conversation, it's best for women to not get themselves involved. And one of the reasons why is, for example, Jen, I don't think anybody understands you or I's YouTube relationship, I guess, in terms of how we handle ourselves, me and you. You know, I met you on Lauren's page, and the reason why I didn't want to say nothing to you is because I don't really talk to women when I'm battling, when I'm at battle with another man. And when you were making statements, my wife felt necessary to protect her husband. And so with a woman protecting her man against another woman, I thought that was very necessary, because you got to admit, your example did come off as if you were implying that you were talking about me. Now, I can understand where my wife is coming from. And so you made the example, and you already said that, and you said that you weren't necessarily talking about me, but you got to understand where she's coming from as a woman, and the fact that she doesn't expect me to holler and scream and check a woman, you know, and I think that's where the disagreement probably is.
Are you asking?
Well, it's more of a question statement. What do you want to state, or what do you want to answer it?
Okay. Yeah. No, I can answer. I think you know, we're all responsible for our interpretations. That was her interpretation. You and I don't think she knows how you and I interact. I've heard her voice before, but I didn't know that was your wife until last night. You and I have never.
No, I know exactly how you guys interact.
What is this? If she's gonna come on here and be belligerent, I'm not gonna do
it. No, wait a minute. She was just asking the question.
Actually.
She was just asking the question.
Okay. So as I was saying, you and I have never been in a verbal fisticuffs. We've never yelled at each other back and forth. Is that correct?
That is definitely correct.
We've communicated via email, we've collabed and what have you. So her interpretation of what I was saying yesterday was that I was attacking you in some way, shape, or form when I spoke very generally.
And I am the one sending out the emails.
You're not going to interrupt me, because I'll take you both off my panel. This is my panel now, and I'll cut you off. Don't play with me. So what do you want to do?
Hold on.
Can you mute Cherry? Cherry? Okay, Cherry? Can you say what you have to say, Cherry? And then Jen, is that all right, Jen?
Okay, look, this is what we're gonna do. Okay, last night she had the opportunity, okay, for us to resolve this. She didn't want to do it. She's doing exactly what she did now. Now she took me off the panel yesterday. All right. Now I'm going to give her a chance to speak, because that's why we are all here. But I'm not doing a chihuahua nipping at my ankles. Either we're going to talk or we're not going to talk at all. Is that fair, chat? Is that fair, panel?
That's fair.
Is it a couples channel?
That's fair.
I
Is
think
it a couples
I use
channel?
the page as a couples channel. That's a whole other show and story. But I don't mind talking to her. But what she's not going to do is interrupt me and talk over me. That's not going to happen here. And I'm trying to have this conversation. I really am. You see me, guys. I'm trying to have this conversation and I'm willing to communicate. I'm so cool with that. But you're not going to talk over me here. You could do that on your couples page. You're not doing that on the block.
I think the severity of where this could go, as far as disrespect, she should cam up and be face to face because it's getting sensitive.
She should cam up, but she never cams up. But you know, that's
yeah, but you know what? You know the bottom line is Jen set the rules. It's her page, and at the end of the day, I think these two are grown women, and they can handle issues between themselves. And me and Mr. O just going to sit back and just watch and make sure everybody is doing what they need to do. Because at the end of the day, she's adamant because she felt her husband's being attacked, and Jen is trying to explain herself because it wasn't an attack on her husband. So we just want to get to the bottom line, what's going on, and we don't want no issues. Because just like she chose her husband's side, I'm choosing Jen's side. So I want to keep it peaceful. Please. Thank you.
I'm cool with that. So let's see which one of the two wants to talk because I can't talk to Kevin and Sales and her at the same time simultaneously. I know they're a unit, but I can't talk to both of them at the same time. This is not a threesome. Kevin, are you with me? Who wants to speak first, and then I'll address that person. But I would like to respond to you first before I speak to her.
Well, Jen, here goes the thing. And I got to get the hell up out of here. The fact of the matter is that Darrell did make a video about me. That video has hundreds of views. I didn't know about the video until one of my Confederates texted me and told me that, hey, do you know a guy named Daryl? And I said, absolutely not. He made a video about me. And Daryl, you know, I'll admit Daryl was not. I'm from a different school. I all we did all day long was rank on each other. Other places you guys call it roasting. You guys may call it joning. I don't know, but that's all we did. And I was the number 2 in my high school for 4 years straight. Now, is that a title that is worthy of praise? No, childish shit. But when somebody comes at me, I know you guys have seen me as Chaotic Truth, but my past is a past of ranking people back into the Stone Age. And now, again, I didn't say anything about that man. And I felt as though that I was being attacked for defending myself. Now, I see where O is coming from. Trust me, I do. But again, me and Darrell talked and it's finished. And, comes to find out we are both bros and we're going to move on from that. And I'm glad that King was the intermediary between the two of us.
Thank you.
And like I said, it's B. I think I'm going to delete the video within the next couple of days. And I think he's going to delete his. I don't think there's going to be any more smoke, between the two of us. I mean, that's not how bros handle situations. And let's just move on from there. Now, and hopefully, again, hopefully everything is squashed right there. That's all I have to say.
Right.
But
and you know what?
Kevin and Seals, why in a couple days? I'm just curious. Why not immediately?
Well, I'm still going to be Team Petty and keep it up. Just like how he's going to keep his up. It's just for entertainment. A lot of this YouTube shit is entertainment. It's shit we do while we're cooking. It's shit we do while we're working. It's just shit to get through the day. And truth be told, the live streams really were for the COVID pandemic at its height. I just got on YouTube about a year and a half ago. And, like I said, it's just all entertainment at the end of the day.
Right. You know what the realest thing, Chaotic Truth, your wife is my sister. So I said to anybody I respect, right? Your wife is my sister. Jen is family, beyond family, right? At some point, there should be clarity. Your wife, Cherry, seems like a respectful person, and I know Jen is. Hopefully, one day they could this, and I get it. I get it's misunderstanding, right?
She's backstage, and I have no beef with. I've never had beef.
Right.
Chaotic Truth. I don't have beef with his wife. Come to find out, that's why I don't have a beef with anybody. But if she's coming at me with the interpretation of you were trying to get at my man, it's not gonna work. right?
Yeah, I think she's
Because
over
I
that.
already said, like, with more information, I think, right, even if I feel insulted, if I interpreted something you said the wrong way, and then you clarify that that wasn't my intent, and that's not why I said it, then you need to bring it down to a 2. You no longer need to be at a 10 unless you want static,
That's a
right?
fact.
That's how I feel. So with more
That's a fact.
information, there should be less beef. So she's backstage, and I'm gonna bring her up. Kevin, do you have to leave right now? Are you gonna stay a few minutes more or what? I don't know if he can hear me.
You hear
Can
me?
I ask the question?
She's in the next room, so I'm gonna stay up for the next. Yeah, I'll stay up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Cherry.
Who was that? Lucky?
Yeah, I didn't see it, so I'm trying to understand just that part. He's saying it's for entertainment, so he doesn't take it seriously. Is the problem that his wife doesn't know he does it for entertainment and she's taking it seriously?
That's a good question.
I'm confused.
Well, okay, can I answer that question, Jen? I think what happened is that, and to be completely honest with you, Jen did but Jen stated something that actually raised my eyebrow too.
We can't hear you. Your mic went out. Darrell is in the building. Your mic is totally out.
Hey, Cherry.
Hey, King, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I don't know what's wrong with my mic.
I'm great.
Now we can hear you now. So
Okay.
you can answer Lucky's question.
Yeah, I think that what you said, even it raised my eyebrow, and I have very thick skin. And so obviously, with me being a very rationally thinking man who's logical, obviously a woman who's more emotional will take that differently from men. And I'm not trying to be sexist or misogynistic, but let's be honest, men and women do think differently. And I think my wife is, just like most women, emotional, and I think that she would like clarification as to what you meant by that. Is that fair enough, Jen, or Lyric, or I'm sorry, Lucky.
Okay, no, I don't mind that at all. But you said that it raised your eyebrow because I already told the panel what it was that I said. I want to know what you heard, and then we can hear what Cherry heard.
Well, what I heard,
raised your eyebrow.
What I heard, Jen, is that, and I hear this so many times in the community, the YouTube community, that content creators are begging, content creators are asking for donations. And I actually look at what you're doing as entertainment. I think that when you, and I mean you and other content creators came up, I think spending 2 and 3 hours online talking and being and you having people watch you is a form of entertainment. I mean, for 100 years, our parents, grandparents, great grandparents listened to radio. They listened to talk show hosts, and you pretty much listen to people talk and paid them via advertising sales when you bought your TV, etc. What's the difference with somebody camming up? So I do take a little offense to that when people say, the content creators are begging, etc. No, it's the same thing as what Howard Stern does. This man, he made $500 million doing fart jokes for 30 years.
Okay, so I mean, that's fair, but here's the thing. We're dealing with two things now. We're dealing with things that have triggered you before that I didn't say last night. You said content creators are begging, content creators, it's not real work, right? I didn't say anything.
I know you didn't say that specifically. Yeah.
What I said was that whether we like it or not, there are some men that are going to look at the men making money this way and see them as clowns. That is what I said.
But you asked me what I thought, though. And I heard what you said, but you asked me the way I thought and interpreted, which was an interpretation based off of emotion at the time. Yes, that's what it felt like. I trust me, I understand and ascertain what you said, but still it had that stinging to it, like, ooh, because
I understand.
Okay.
And I even said, how can I can't down anybody that's making money on YouTube, because hello, I'm on YouTube. We know it's passive income. We know we can.
I'm begging. So,
I'm begging. Well, King doesn't mind saying that, but I can't down something that I'm doing, and I think that's something. It's a great point you brought up, because I see a lot of people doing that on YouTube where they're going at each other, and I'm like, we're all doing the same thing. Right? We're all doing the same thing. We're doing this. So how can I say you're on here begging for money or this isn't real work? I'm in entertainment. I've heard that my whole life too. Oh, get a real job. I'm like, this is a real job. I get paid after a film. This is a real job. So I understand your interpretation, but I can't say that because I'm here too. So that's not what I said. But I do understand when emotions are high, you hear what you hear, especially if it's, it's compounded with something you heard in the past. So I get it. I have no problem with that. But I clarified that's not what I said. So Cherry would like to say what she said, and then we'll clear that up.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that first I wanted to say that you know, I never had a problem with Jen, and people in the chat are saying that it's some type of jealousy or whatever. I just wanted to make it clear that Chaotic Truth has a business, right? So I am his wife. We are one, and I help him run his business. So any emails that go out to people to come on the show, I am the one who send the emails out because I asked for people to come on the show. I liked Jen. I thought she was spicy, and I said, you know what, she can handle the red pill people. Let's bring Jen on. So I want to make that clear right now. Nothing goes on between me and my husband that we don't know about. And I don't like when people try to cause problems between husband and wife. And that's what I find that a lot of people on YouTube do. That's why I used to be on his channel, Kevin and Sales. Then when he started Chaotic Truth, I wasn't on there anymore because people tried to cause problems between our marriage. I'm not saying anything against you guys, but you guys try to do it today, saying that, oh, you know, I don't respect my husband. I do respect my husband. And so when you say things like that, you try to cause problems between that man and his wife. And that's what that's what you do when you make statements like that, because you don't know what goes on between my husband and myself. Now, when Jen said what she said on the panel yesterday, yes, that annoyed me because this is what happened. I'm going to give it to you verbatim. First of all, I was kind of annoyed, Jen, and I don't know if you know it because you were calling the people in the chat cockroaches. And that's a derogatory term.
Wait a minute. It was one person who kept attacking me, and I said these cockroaches always pop up. It was one person, Eric something. His name was Eric something, and then I blocked him. So don't say I was calling. If you're gonna go verbatim, let's go verbatim, okay? It was
right. But you said cockroaches, right?
It was one person who kept attacking me, and you guys didn't take. Now that I know that you run these pages, you didn't.
I don't run his page.
I did. So
what I was saying is that I just trying to explain to you what happened when you called him a cockroach.
Then you have to be honest.
When you said you cockroaches, I didn't
like the cockroach. You can. I'm sure it's still up. I said, for instance, Chaotic Truth, like the cockroach that's here harassing me. Eric, whatever. And the
okay, then you said it's singular. Okay, then you said it's singular. Whatever. What I'm saying is that when you use the word cockroaches, to me, that's offensive towards Black people, and that's why I was kind of already annoyed. I'm going to admit it to you. I was already annoyed by your use of the word cockroach. Then, when I think you got on the panel and somehow you said my husband said that he was an alpha, whatever, and you said, yeah, well, you know, my man's an alpha too. However, my man is not online, you know, asking people for money, you know, trying to get money online.
I never said
or something to that effect. Or wearing
that.
Can I finish my statement?
No, you can't, because you're not being rational. No, you
okay,
cannot.
So I'm telling you what I heard you say. Okay, then you can correct me, but I'm telling you what I heard you say. What I heard you say is that
I correct you if you heard something I didn't say. How can I correct?
I'm sorry.
How can I correct something that you heard that I didn't say? How can I correct that?
Okay,
you said
okay,
that's
so
what I heard. But
well, my husband heard the same thing. Well, maybe we can replay it. Maybe we can replay it because my husband heard the same exact thing. And that's where the problem came, because I felt like you were being disrespectful to my husband and other male content creators who are, yes, they're here to make money. They're not here just to waste their time.
Okay, so like she did to me yesterday, I will bid her adieu. This is what I'm gonna do. Chaotic Truth, rewatch that video. Write down what I said. I don't know if you want to get some bullet points or whatever. I'll bring you guys back on with exactly what I said, because what she's trying to do now is the snake shit. She's trying to come up here and influence my panel and influence my chat that I was going against men on YouTube. That is not what happened. I'm not going to give her the stage to do that. But I still welcome you to come back. So if you would like to watch what went down yesterday, okay, study that, bring it back with notes, bring it back with clips, and we'll discuss that. But what you're not going to do is come on my panel and trying to poison the people that I love hanging out with. That's not going to happen, especially with things I didn't say. I said what I said verbatim. We're not playing that, so I cut her off, and she cut me off yesterday. Shall we continue?
That was petty.
Petty boots.
I get it though.
Yeah, I get it. That was petty though, but I get it.
But do you see what she was trying to do? Do you see what
No.
Yeah, I get it.
I saw it. Right? I can't speak for anybody. I saw what the text was, but hold on, please.
Hit them likes,
No, hold on. The reason why she did come back on your panel, and she was a little bit calmer. than when she initially came in, and that's what you asked her for, right?
Right.
And she told a story, and maybe she did mess up your words because I didn't see the whole situation yesterday.
It's still
But
up. I'm sure it's still up. He said
yeah,
he's gonna
yeah,
do it for a couple days.
yeah. So I'm gonna look at, I'm gonna see what happened because I want to see the context. But I was just hoping y'all could just, because I was understanding where she was coming from because she said she was defending her husband whose business provides for them. So I get that, right? So I get that, but I also understand where you coming from with like, yo, listen, I keep on telling people this, leave, like you don't, if you go to war with Jen, she ain't gonna let it go like that. You feel me? Like, so it's like just be nice. You feel what I'm saying? Like you're not gonna let it go. But my question to you, Jen, is
Yes, but I'm still because this isn't that serious to me. I'm still willing to
right.
talk it out, right?
No, okay, talk to her. But do you think? Let me ask you a question. Do you think that this could have been handled better behind the scenes?
The reason why I say no, this is why I say no, because like the echoing sentiment that we've heard, it's not that serious to me. Like I literally, when I log off, like this isn't a cousin, this isn't a sister, this isn't a lover, this isn't my best friend, this isn't my mother. Like, so if I had this exchange with someone I'm close to, yeah, I'm gonna, let me call, let me.
Hey, look, he's in the text. He's taking it out of context, man. I want to be sensitive to his wife. When I made the comment about how I see certain women act in public, it did insinuate that I was speaking about her, but I never wanted to speak directly about her actions in public like this. And so I could be sensitive to how she heard that, and maybe they might trigger her, but that's not what I was trying to do right here. What I like Chaotic as for like what he could potentially be. And what I want to say to him about that, I want to say to him behind the scenes. I'm going to try to reach out to him personally. But what he's doing now, I'm glad he admitted that it's a gimmick. So it should be smoother, and it could be delivered a lot smoother, and stay away on how you deliver certain things. Like the way you tell them, your mama joke has a lot to do. Your delivery have a lot to do with it, and the spirit and how he was coming in certain ways that he did, it didn't come off well. You know, it wasn't real smooth. Even like the show that Daryl had reacted to that he did on Lauren's show, you and him got into it because the way he come with that red pill is so hard, and he say a lot of things that come off offensive. Like he trying to say you coming off offensive, but he come off offensive when he was like, I think Lucky said that went on that particular show. He comes off.
Thank you, Darrell. Darrell just said Jen was talking about someone named Eric who brought up Tariq Nasheed. I was very specifically aiming that at one person. Now, the whole cockroach thing, she was like, that's something that's offensive to Black people since 1940. Here's the thing. If that's your interpretation, to me, a cockroach is a dirty thing that even when you block it, it keeps crawling out. That's what cockroach means to me.
Yeah, I just want to say I don't subscribe to cockroaches. And I'm Black.
Like her interpretation of cockroaches, it means Black people. That's not my problem. That is your issue to deal with. That is just like they have derogatory terms for Puerto Rican women. What does that have to do with me?
There's a stigma on Jen already. On the Block with Jen is a brand, and it's already associated with people think that she's coming into our arguments disingenuous, and I think you already gonna be scoring with that when you show up, and they're gonna find anything that you say that sounds slightly offensive, and they're gonna run with it. Versus maybe somebody else might have let that slip one time and nobody said nothing.
And I'm glad you said that, Mr. O. At the end of the day, you know, Lucky said that's offensive to her, and then you know, Jen said, well, this is what it means to me, right? At the end of the day, at the end of the day, both could be right. It could mean nothing to Jen, and it could mean something to someone else. But the thing is, we're never going to get anywhere if people keep on just standing firm in their own own principle, right? You gotta say, you know what? We have to use that word now to get to the truth. And the truth is, listen, it was a misunderstanding. Can we solve it or not? Are we going to be forever, or are we going to solve it? Clearly, those ladies don't want to make up. It's cool. Then we move on. She said, come to my channel, have respect. You disrespected me yesterday because you didn't give me a chance to speak, because you felt that I was out of line. I feel that you out of line, so I'm kicking you off my stage too. That's it. We can't tell Jen how to act. But what I can say is this. we gotta stop having stigmas on people because of something they did in the past, right? Mr. O said people always say that certain people, when they say certain words, they hit harder, and that's not really fair, right? Because if Mr. O said cockroaches, would she have felt the same way?
No.
Of course not.
Right. So, and I'm not saying what Jen said was right. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that you can't pick and choose, give everybody the same rules. Like we don't pick and choose. Like if don't pick and choose who has to do with this rule. Everybody got to go with it. That's why I don't say the N-word, right? You know why I don't say the N-word? Because then when a white person calls me the N-word, I could punch him in his face and I won't feel anything about it because I really don't say it. Yeah. Everybody and my friends say it, and they say it the good way and the bad way. And I always tell them at the end of the day, can you use that word as a word of endearment? Can you write a recommendation at the end and say, hey, that's my N-word?
What's unfair about it is the fact that like we all know her intentions and the context and how she's speaking, and we're speaking words to communicate a message, and we can get the message from her without like taking it to somewhere and trying to make it seem that she is something that she's clearly not being. You know, I don't.
Listen, we're not here. We're not here.
Because I don't need you know, I got freaking some sincere love for y'all, but I don't want this to be about me. That wasn't my.
Oh no, we're not here to defend you. You could defend yourself. We know you could defend yourself.
So I want to even use that as an example. And Mr. O, maybe this is what you were thinking about because you said I'm gonna have a conversation behind the scenes. I think this was a great illustration of the topic at hand. Wives, children off limits, but what if a relative or wife jumps into the chaos like she's doing? And this is just my observation. She thinks she's doing the power couple thing. She's making him look bad, is what she's doing. She's making him look bad. She's making him look like he don't wear the pants, like he has no control. This is just an observation, and he's in the chat, so he's more than welcome to come back on the panel. But she's not coming back on the panel. She got mi casa is not her casa, okay? She can't come back up here because she don't know how to act. So that's my observation on the subject. You two beefing, or wives and children off limits. She threw herself into this. She threw on the super wife tape. I understand the power couple thing. I understand when you get married, you are one unit. I completely understand. But she's full of shit is what happened here. And that's different than, you know, we're one. So that's my husband and blah, blah. I'm like, you're not doing the power couple thing. You're coming off as a little chihuahua nipping at my ankles, right? Because we could have handled this differently. We could have did it on the panel in front of everybody. But she's making him look like a duck. And it's funny because Chaotic Truth is always talking about simp this and simp that. And you let women this. And men are the prize. You let women this. And you let women this. And she's running him ragged to the point where he can't even have a conversation because she's like this in the background. So who looks like a simp today? Let's keep it 100. Like King said, let's have the same rules all the way around. You're going to talk about simps all day. And your wife just got you taken off of a panel because my husband. She didn't make him look stronger. She didn't make him look like a king. She made him look like, oh shit, what am I going to do now? And she had to get off the panel, and he had to follow. He had to follow her.
Right. So Jen, can I ask you a question? A critical question?
Absolutely.
And you don't have to answer it.
I'll answer.
I agree with you, right? Everything you just said, I agree with you. But I know you are a fierce woman. Can your man tell you to be quiet and you're going to be quiet as soon as he says it?
Yes.
Okay, then that's it. That's all. Because
yes.
I thought you was going to say hell no. But you said, and everybody knows your opinion, that if he says be quiet, I'm talking right now, what are you going to do?
Yes. The only time I haven't done that, and this is really gonna hit a couple of people in the field. If a man I trust and I'm with and I respect tells me, Jen, I got this. Now, if I don't respect them and I know if I don't speak up, things aren't going to be handled. If I don't speak up, we're going to continue to get disrespected as a couple. I'm not going to be quiet because I don't trust them to handle it.
This is like what I said.
On that note, I got to go. That was funny. But if y'all get a chance and y'all do earn early, y'all can come to my page too for my show at 7:30.
I just want
7:30.
before you go, I just want to say this, King, because I need you to co-sign it, man. The way I want to respond to what she was saying about him and his wife, I don't. What I do want to say is that, like, men, for you to reach a certain level in life as success, like, the other men on that level have to see you as a peer for it to even be valid. You can't just say you are where you are if men on that level don't receive you in and see you as a peer. And
My
so,
question to you, is chaotic truth on your level?
well, I don't know. Like, I want to have a conversation with him offline. I don't know what my level is, but I do think that, like, he has potential, and there's something there, and that if we could talk,
I'm getting
his
Darrell.
image.
I'm out. Darrell's here. It's about to get ugly. I'm out. Yeah, have a good
Just
day.
man,
Darrell,
your
I love you,
image is
man.
important to your success. Your image, it matters.
All right, Darrell, I love you, man.
Right.
I'm out, man. I'm about to stare
What
it
time
up.
you
I'm out.
starting?
I love you too,
What time
brother.
you starting, King? Oh, he left. Okay.
He's about to
So-
get ready, brother.
Okay, so look, Chaotic Truth just left this comment, and I think it's important to bring up because it's what I was talking about before. Because I don't have no beef. I have no beef with this man. So Chaotic Truth said, I had a friend whose entire family was slaughtered in Rwanda during the genocide. She said she witnessed Hutu extremists referring to her mother and grandmother as cockroaches before being hacked to death, right? Now that's legitimate. That actually happened. If he's saying it happened, I'm assuming that it happened. Now, I've never been to Rwanda. I don't know what a Hutu extremist is. So he has that trauma perhaps from witnessing or hearing about that. Maybe his wife has that trauma from witnessing or hearing that. Still has nothing to do with Jen. Still has nothing to do with me. And that happens on YouTube where people are coming with their past traumas and their hangups. And as soon as they hear the word cockroaches, oh my God, Rwanda, Hutu extremists. But what does that have to do with me is the thing. So you have to leave your baggage at the door before you log on, because I don't know anything about Rwanda, who got killed and whose grandmother. So if you're coming on like that, what does that have to do with me? To me, that guy yesterday was acting like a damn cockroach because I kept blocking him from different pages and he kept crawling back to tag me. But what does that have to do with Hutu extremists in Rwanda? That's what I'm talking about, how silly it gets here. But when she came on here, she was calling everybody in the chat cockroaches. You're not going to play that game with me. So off with your head. But we have the one and only Darrell, who I've also been talking about today.
Hello.
And I'd like for him to speak for himself. Lucky, unless you have something to say, doll, after all the drama, Lucky was like, oh, damn.
Yeah, I wanted to say something before I leave. I just thought it was interesting how he came on our platform to be very degrading and disrespectful to women, especially Black women, as well as bigging up white women. And so as far as any disrespect, I don't really care because he's disrespectful in his brand. And for her to say she runs his business, that means she supports the message. So I'm going to say, Jen, have at it. And I'm going to just go for the rest of the day. I don't really care too much about that couple. So y'all have a good night. Bye, Patrice and Mr. O and Daryl. I forgot his name at the bottom.
Chad. And I told her, she said they want us to come back over there.
Oh yeah,
I just want to say something for my nephew Darrell talk. You know, when I was married, my husband, and I think that this is maybe some conversations that men need to have with their women, husband need to have with their wives, right? Like my husband sat me down basically and was like, if I'm ever in a fight, don't jump in it. Don't get in it. If I don't, you know what I'm saying? Unless he's in a fight with another man and the man's woman or wife get in it, then I'm getting in it. You know what I mean? So, because that can get some hurt, because the most dangerous thing women tend to do, feeling we have to defend our men or our husband, they can be in an argument, they can be in a confrontation, and we'll tend to like hold them back, hold their hands, hold their and they can literally get effed up like that because we think we're trying to save them. So we, you know what I'm saying? So have those conversations as to say, look, this is the situation. And if I'm ever in a position where I need to be a man, let me be a man. And even if that means getting your A whooped, let me be a man. Don't jump in a man's fight as a woman. Now, if his woman jump in it, then that's when you jump in it and be on that A. So I just wanted to just say that.
I appreciate it, Patrice.
Darrell.
How you doing, Jen?
How you doing? I tried, Darrell. You see, I tried. We be trying.
Yeah, man. I caught the tail end of everything, man. I was real disappointed in those two because at the end of the day, it was just crazy how she came in here and she tried to project what you said. And unfortunately for them, I have timestamps. I downloaded the video. The video is mine now. And I'm going to make money off of it. Chaotic Truth. In the next few days, I'll make money off your whole fucking live. But at the end of the day, what this young man tried to do and what this young lady tried to do was they tried to project. And E Black did the same thing. E Black stunted on me with the Armani shit, but then went on his live and said, well, Daryl talking about poor people in America. So how can he be pro-black? Fuck are you talking about? So just like in that situation with E Black, in this situation, the wife would have never been collateral damage if she had just shut the fuck up. And she would have been less collateral damage if her husband was a better leader and knew not to fuck with somebody like me. Still, she didn't cam up, but, you know, she was talking shit yesterday. You know, she got a husband that said that women hit the wall and men don't, but he don't show his wife off, but he's online trying to fucking flirt with Lucky and Lauren. A husband. I thought that was crazy, man. And, you know, initially, Jen, I was going to just take a whole different route with this like I did with Anton. Like you said to him, I can make this my whole month of December, the Chaotic Truth month. You know what I'm saying?
Live. Guess who's live right now?
He live right now, Mr. Chaotic?
With your picture.
With my picture?
No, Jen.
Oh, with Jen picture?
I need the spins.
They about to say they need the spins too, man. You know, he almost at 1.5 thousand. You don't got nothing but 30,000 views.
Today. That's what it says. Unleash the trolls.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I'm about to make you famous today.
Yeah. He's small fish.
It's okay. Go ahead,
he's small fish, bro. And this is what I'm gonna say to him, because I was gonna be disrespectful to Cherry and to everybody under his crew. You know what I'm saying? Because I couldn't find no pictures of you, Cherry. I don't find you attractive, Cherry. You got to show your face if you want to talk that shit. I'm sorry. I know, because I'm not everybody else here. I'm gonna speak facts, because Cherry, you was the same one that went on your live and said that I have an AMG and the AMG is the poor man's Benz, and it was just a kit. You stupid motherfucker. Like, that's a $30,000 extra just to get an AMG. And just to make it clear for you, Cherry, AMG is the performance brand behind Mercedes. It's like fucking the Trackhawk and GM, but you don't spend money. Like, it's a lot of losers around here, man. And them two, they just the two clowns together. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel about them. And that's how I feel about their marriage and their whole fucking business, everything they got going on. Chaotic Truth, if you listening, that's how I feel about you. You know what I'm saying? If you want to do something about it, come holler at me, you know, and I come holler at you. Just let me know where to find you. You email me, send your address, send your phone number like I asked you to, but you didn't. I'm not trying to keep doing this on these shows. You want to do a show about me? You want to do a show about Jen? Let's be honest. You have no fucking clout. You had 8 people on your show last night. I'm sorry, you know, to go off on like this, but you got 8 people on your show last night, bro. Nobody watches your show. Your ugly wife is not bringing more people to your show. If you had a wife who looked like Jen, maybe people would come and watch. But you don't have no swag, man.
Yeah, last night. Like, he has some real, like, weird people.
He's sending trolls to come troll your live stream right now.
They'll just get blocked.
I don't know if it's him or her, though. I don't know.
It's probably her.
They move together, man. You can't be married to a clown and say what, like, when he made clown choices, you had nothing to do with it either.
That's true.
When she controlling the entire show, as she just said multiple times, and she right there with him controlling everything. Like I said, man, to me,
the crazy thing is that, and here's what's crazy. The crazy thing is that Chaotic Truth was trying to be an ally. Even last night, even when she was going off, like, it seemed to me like she was making it difficult for him. That's what it looked like last night. That's what transpired here today. So it's like he wants to be in, he wants to be down, right? But she's making it difficult for him, right? And then when we pointed that out, when Mr. O pointed that out, she was like, you're trying to come between a marriage. Why? Because now you're being exposed for making it hard for this husband that you claim that you love and you're teaming up with. Like, you look dumb all the way around. So it goes back to the topic: are wives off limits? Now he put her in the middle of the fire. So
I'm not here to support the narrative that certain people are not involved in the war. That's not how I move. Everybody else, y'all can move like that. But let me make it clear: when you start some shit with me, there's nobody off limits. I make that very clear. Offline, online, I don't give a fuck. You should just leave me alone, because at the end of the day, like Mr. O was trying to tell him, really what I'm really doing is I'm a single father who's trying to just push my kid's life forward. Once you come in between that, and I want to say this too, chaotic truth, you went online, and about 16 minutes into your video, you were saying that I live with my mom and all this different stuff. Chaotic truth, if you bring up my family again, I put it on everything, I'm gonna come find you. I'm not doing this YouTube shit with niggas like y'all no more, bro. I put it on everything. I'm gonna come holler at you. See, y'all type of dudes that think everything's slick, and you think that, well, because I'm alpha, I'm 1906. No, I don't give a fuck about you being 1906, big homie. I will break your ass the fuck down. And I'm gonna talk about your ugly wife who don't know nothing about AMGs and about Mercedes, because you don't provide that kind of life for her.
Neff, chill. Don't make threats on public platform, baby. Okay.
You're right.
Chill.
You're right. You know what? I'm gonna go and watch Moana.
And go watch Moana. That's one of my favorites.
And I'm about to go take care of my daughter and finish enjoying my night. I wanted to hop on here though, because and thank you, Patrice. I wanted to hop on here and talk to it because at the end of the day, it's just like we got so many of these dudes out here that claim they alpha, that's using these Kevin Samuels talking points, going on Lucky and Lauren show talking about the B word and women hitting the wall. Come on, bro. Like, come on, man. Do I got to come over there and show you what a real man look like, and show your wife what a real man look like, or not? You know what I'm saying? Because I will.
So look, anybody with half a brain knows what happened here tonight. So this is what they're immediately doing after. He used my picture and he said, I'm about to make you famous today on the block with Jen, which is kind of ironic because I have a way bigger following on social media than he does. So I don't know how somebody with less of a following is going to make me famous. Okay. But this is what him and his wife are doing right now on their channel. Even though I invited them to this channel to have a conversation and iron everything out, they're on their channel right now about to make me famous, though I have a bigger following, but I don't know how that works. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, please go to Conversations with King. Mama has to go to the gym. Okay. And thank you all. I know I'm ending with a lot of people watching and on the chat, but I got to go. I have things to do, and they don't include defending my man who can't defend himself. Thank you, Lucky. Thank you, OG Patrice. Thank you, Darrell and Messi. Thank you, Mr. O. You always showing up. Let chat know I said salute. And after the gym, meet me on Conversations with King.
Yeah, my bad. I'm multitasking.
Let him say something before he leave.
You gotta hurry up because I gotta run.
Peace, guys.
Okay.
Say something.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh man, just thank you for the invite. You know, I'll definitely be tuning in, giving my
time.
You
took him on a field trip.
I appreciate what you're doing. I like how you coming. Yeah, multitasking, getting it done.
This is the last. Thank you so much for please keep supporting, subscribe. You see how it goes down on the block. Hit the like button on your way out. And I'm gonna leave this last note. How is he gonna make Jen famous with 12 viewers? I love you all. I'm leaving it there. All right, guys. Meet me at
y'all over there, King.
All right, peace out, y'all.
All right.
Woo!
That was fun.